Imagine being addicted to something that you know is bad for you, but you just can't stop. Something that affects your relationships, your work, and your overall well-being. For many of us, that something is social media. We spend hours scrolling through our feeds, comparing our lives to others, and feeling inadequate. But why do we do it? Why do we feel this constant need to be connected, to be validated, and to be liked? The answer lies in the dark psychology of social media. Today, we're joined by the renowned psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud, who will guide us through the dark psychology of social media and addiction. Sigmund Freud is known for his work on the human psyche, and his theories on the subconscious mind and the structure of personality. He's the perfect person to help us understand the psychological effects of social media on our minds. So, let's dive in and explore the dark side of social media. As Sigmund Freud once said, the unexamined life is not worth living. It's time to examine our social media habits and the impact they have on our lives. One of the main reasons we get addicted to social media is the constant need for validation. We post a picture, and we wait for the likes and comments to roll in. We feel good when we get a lot of engagement, and we feel bad when we don't. This constant need for validation is a result of our ego's need for self-esteem. According to Sigmund Freud, our ego is the part of our personality that deals with the demands of reality. It's the part that tries to balance our desires with the constraints of the real world. But when it comes to social media, our ego gets a little out of control. We start to crave the instant gratification that comes with likes and comments, and we become addicted to the feeling of being liked and loved. Sigmund Freud would call this the pleasure principle, where we seek pleasure and avoid pain. But the problem is, this pleasure is short-lived, and it often comes at the cost of our self-esteem and our relationships. For example, let's take the story of a young woman who became addicted to Instagram. She would spend hours taking the perfect selfie, and then she would wait for the likes and comments to roll in. She felt good when she got a lot of engagement, but she felt bad when she didn't. She started to compare her life to others, and she felt inadequate. She realized that she was addicted to the validation she got from social media, and she decided to take a break. She deleted the app from her phone, and she started to focus on real-life relationships and activities. She felt a sense of relief and freedom, and she realized that she didn't need social media to feel good about herself. Another dark aspect of social media is the fear of missing out, or FOMO. We're constantly connected to our devices, and we're always worried that we're missing out on something important. This fear is fueled by the constant stream of information that we get from social media. We see our friends and family posting about their lives, and we feel like we're missing out if we're not doing the same things. According to Sigmund Freud, this fear is a result of our ID trying to take control. Our ID is the primitive part of our personality that seeks immediate gratification. It's the part that wants to satisfy our desires without considering the consequences. When it comes to social media, our ID gets a little out of control, and we start to feel anxious and stressed. We feel like we need to be constantly connected, and we start to neglect our real-life relationships and activities. But the problem is, this fear is often unfounded. We're not missing out on anything important, and we're just wasting our time scrolling through our feeds. For example, let's take the story of a businessman who was always connected to his phone. He would check his email and social media constantly, and he would feel anxious if he didn't respond to a message immediately. He realized that he was addicted to the constant stream of information, and he decided to take a break. He started to focus on his work and his real-life relationships, and he felt a sense of relief and productivity. He realized that he didn't need to be constantly connected to feel important or needed. So, how can we overcome our addiction to social media and develop healthier relationships with our devices? According to Sigmund Freud, the first step is to become aware of our motivations. Why do we use social media? Is it to connect with others, or is it to seek validation? Once we understand our motivations, we can start to develop strategies to overcome our addiction. For example, we can set limits on our social media use, and we can start to focus on real-life activities and relationships. We can also practice mindfulness and self-compassion, and we can learn to accept ourselves without the need for external validation. Another strategy is to use social media in a more intentional way. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through our feeds, we can use social media to connect with others, to learn new things, and to share our experiences. We can also use social media to promote positive change, and to support causes that we care about. For example, let's take the story of a young man who used social media to connect with others who shared his passion for photography. He started to post his photos online, and he connected with other photographers who shared his interest. He learned new things, and he started to develop his skills. He realized that social media could be a powerful tool for connection and creativity, and he started to use it in a more intentional way. In conclusion, the dark psychology of social media and addiction is a complex issue that requires our attention and awareness. By understanding the psychological effects of social media on our minds, we can develop strategies to overcome our addiction and develop healthier relationships with our devices. Remember, the key is to become aware of our motivations, to set limits on our social media use, and to practice mindfulness and self-compassion. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content on dark psychology and personal development. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. As Sigmund Freud would say, the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change their future by merely changing their attitude. Let's change our attitude towards social media, and let's start to live a more authentic and fulfilling life.